Here we are, we live back again with Talking to Texas. And I got my dog. So before we get started, I want you to introduce yourself and let the people know who you are.
Okay. Hey y'all, my name is LaTasha. Last name Jones. I'm here from Freeport, Texas, and I just wanted to do an interview today to talk about my book, Surviving Self.
Absolutely. Yes, we will get into that. But I do have a few questions before that. Um, Before I do start this interview, I do like to give people their flowers. And I watched you grow up, and from the person that you were to seeing the person that you are now, I just want to say that I am proud of you. Keep doing your thing. Uh, the sky's the limit. And like I say, just keep doing your thing and don't let nothing or no one hold you back.
Thank you.
So the first question I want to ask you is, I see the weight gain. Is that happy weight? Is it healthy weight? Or did you get some work done to that body?
Well, the weight is it's a little bit of both. Not weight, I mean, not surgery, unfortunately. I didn't have surgery. But I am very happy. So along the years, this weight did come along with that. And I do have PCOS. I don't know if any of you ladies, you beautiful ladies, do have that. That is like a hormone disorder. And what that does is it fluctuates your hormones. And it cost me to gain some weight, y'all. So I'm struggling with that a little bit. But other than that, I'm happy. I'm happy.
Gotcha. So did you and your family come from Florida and move to Texas? Or did y'all grow up in Texas and move to Florida and come back to Texas?
That's exactly what we did. So I was born here in Texas, like I said. And my family, my mom actually, she used to work on shrimp boats. So she actually moved to Florida like before and was there for a couple of months. And then she came back and got us, and then we moved to Florida. So that was like the late 90s, early 2000s. And then I grew up in Florida and came back to Texas and graduated high school, went to school, college, and things like that. And then went back to Texas. I mean, back to Florida.
Yeah, that's kind of like how my family was. Like,
right.
My cousin right here, he grew up. Well, he didn't grow up he was actually born in Key West, Florida. When my mom was pregnant with me, they actually was moving from Florida and came to Texas. Yeah, so my mama say she was in the back of a U-Haul.
Oh,
pregnant with me.
I believe it. That's queen. I believe it. I believe it.
Hey man, it was them shrimp boats back then
they was jumping.
Yeah, for sure.
That is true.
So, growing up in Freeport on the west side. Shout out to the west side.
Shout out to the west side.
Did you have a dad in the house?
I did not. It was just my mom, my grandma, and my siblings.
So, how did that affect you, or did that affect you in any way, not having a dad in the household?
I would say yes, for sure. My dad was around. I knew exactly who he was, but he wasn't in the household. So it played a little bit along the way as I got older, for sure. Definitely started to feel like what's up? Like, like why aren't you here? With us, helping us in any type of way.
And did you ever ask your mom that at one point in time?
Yeah, she basically explained that he struggles with his own demons, basically. And left it at that kind of.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So you speak about your mom. How much was your mom a part of your life?
She was a part of my life my whole life, but she also struggled with her own demons. So I can't say she was fully there,
Right.
as a mother should.
Right. Would you say that drugs played a factor into that?
For sure.
So growing up, were you aware that your mama was doing drugs?
Of course. Yes, I may have found out my mom was on drugs when I was like maybe 5 or 6 years old. Yeah.
So, yeah, I was going to ask you, at what age did you realize it?
Yeah.
So, moving right along, how were y'all surviving? You know, no dad in the house.
Mhm.
You know, he was struggling with his own demons, and your mom was there, but she kind of wasn't there.
Right, right.
How were y'all surviving? Did family and friends help out, or did y'all figure out things the best way y'all could on y'all own?
I would say it's a little bit of both, actually. I remember it was times that me and my sister, like my little sister, would do my hair, um, and she started doing my hair when I was like 7. She was like 6. My brother, he was so young, so we just sheltered him and took care of him. And my grandma, she was the pillar to our family.
Right.
Shout out to her.
Shout out to the grandma. Rest in peace.
Yes, she was the pillar to our family. She literally held us down for as long as she was here on earth. Without her, I literally don't know how we would have survived. A lot of people in the community as well, like your mom, your stepdad, definitely all my siblings, we stayed at your house. I remember like finna go to Florida and your mom was like, you ain't taking my baby.
Right,
Like she was like,
yeah.
no. And it was to the point where she wanted to even adopt me, So
Yeah.
like it was a lot of people in the community that did that for us, that stepped up and,
because they do say it take a village.
For sure.
You know what
and
I'm
we
saying?
had a hell of a village.
Right, absolutely. So
Yes,
shout out to your grandma,
yes.
first and foremost. Shout out to Drew, baby. You know what I'm saying,
sure.
for doing her thing.
Definitely.
Shout out to Mama V.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
That's one
Love
thing
her
that I know that my mama will do. She will
For sure.
house any and everybody. She's been doing that. She's still doing that right now today. You know what I'm saying? So
she ain't gonna stop.
Yeah. So shout out to the village,
For
because
sure.
it does take a village, and
one.
we still need to have that village right now
sure.
today, in today's world especially. More than anything.
And I think that's what we lack, our community. Like everyone's like, well, I don't want to get in their business, and I don't want to get. Back then, we didn't ask about getting in nobody's business.
Right.
If you seen these kids needed help, you jumped in and you helped them.
Right.
So that's what it was all about,
Yeah, even as adults, because
Yep.
I remember at one point in time, my uncle wanted to take me in. You know what I'm saying? So even as adults, and now we the adults.
Now we the adults. That's
and
right.
Instead of us trying to be that fly on the wall, you know what I'm saying, we need to actually be active, you know what I'm saying, in these kids' lives, and actually helping out others that needs
it. Agree. Yes, sir. I agree.
So, being that you were already in survival mode as a child, did that play a role stepping into adulthood?
Definitely. I actually didn't realize I was in that mode, but yes, it was something that I simply stayed in all the way into adulthood.
Yeah. And as an adult, did drugs ever get a hold of you and control how you survive?
Definitely, for sure. I wasn't on hard drugs, but I definitely relied on pills, alcohol, marijuana to get me through a lot of my times. So, yes.
Gotcha. So we're going to flip the script. Your brother Papa. Shout out to Papa.
Shout out to my
Free
heart.
Papa the long way.
Free him the long way.
When you realize that he was going away for a while, how did that affect you?
It was hard. It was very hard. He was 17 when he got sentenced. So or not sentenced, but when he got in trouble, he was 17 years old. So it was very hard.
So being that, y'all grew up together and y'all damn near wasn't apart from each other.
Right.
Like your day-to-day activities and things like that. I know I'm pretty sure Papa called on you for things and you called on Papa for some things. I'm saying, like, how did that
affect that
in that way?
Okay, so it's just like a missing piece. They're there as meaning they're alive, but they're not physically there. So I feel like that kind of pain is different because it's like you want to hurt for them, but you also know like one day they will get out, right? So it was me struggling with that type of feeling of like kind of not knowing like what to do with this emotion. Like my brother is my baby. My sister, that's we all we have, right? So removing one of us out of that equation, it threw off the whole everything.
Right.
So it's like learning how to live with this person while they're still here, but they're not here, you know, learning how to live life without them. And being so young myself, I was, 22, 23. So I was, in my 20s, but I was still young as well. And being this first time being separated as a big part of not being able to go and just pull up on my brother, it was definitely different. It was a struggle in its own. And I know people say like, losing a sibling is hard, and that's how it felt. It really felt like I was losing my baby.
Right.
And I had no control. I had no control over the situation.
Right. So do they have a release date or when he's coming home?
Amen. He will be released in 2030, right, Drew? 2030. So yes, he will be released in 2030 if he gets approved for like good behavior and things of that sort. Before 2030. Oh, as of today. Any new charges. Right. So 2026 could be his new release date. 2030 is the actual release date. He did get moved closer to home because he got moved all the way to Cali. So the last year he's been in California in one of the worst federal prisons that there is. So he is now getting back home, and that's good news. So
that's good news.
That's good news for 17. So that'll be 13 years. 13 years.
It's a long time. It's a long time, man. And I know y'all keep in contact, through these times and over the years. I'm pretty sure that a lot of people have strayed away.
For sure.
And the friends and even some family.
Yeah.
That he can't call upon to be there for him in these times. Is it something that he has spoken on, and when he get out, is his head level to not fool with those kind of people, even if it's family and friends that he has?
You know what's funny? He's never mentioned the people that's not there.
Okay.
He's actually very grateful for the ones that are.
Absolutely.
Because as we know, time goes on.
Absolutely.
His friends were young at the time as well. They're having kids. They're doing other things with their life. So I don't think for him, it's not for as much as like who's not here. He's more of like, thank you to the ones that stood by my side during this time.
That's all that matters.
And that speaks a lot of his manhood and who he's turned, who he's becoming and what that situation has done for him. So I salute him all the time. I don't know if he has to my sister, but to me, if he begging us, he's always begging us. He's never like, I tried call so and so and they not answering. It's always like, well, tell Drew to do it, or tell
Yeah.
Tasha or whatever. It's always us because that's who we have.
Yeah.
So we always know like we're gonna leave each other.
Absolutely. Ain't free pop with a fast way.
Real.
So it wouldn't be right if I talked about your brother and not talk about your sister.
Right. Because who is Tasha without Drew, baby?
You know what I'm saying? Because I know she'll probably beef with a nigga if I ain't, bring her up into this interview. So your sister.
Right.
Drew, baby. Coming from where y'all came from, how proud are you seeing the growth in her and who she's become?
Whoa. As a big sister, I don't think she could have made me any more happier. Maybe with the baby fathers that she chose.
Come on.
That could have changed the situation a little bit. But as far as the woman that she's became over her times, because we all know, y'all might just know a little bit.
Right.
But I know, from day one, my sister. So just seeing the growth is amazing. It's amazing. Like I said, she couldn't have made me any more prouder. Her children are beautiful. I got to spend time with them last night, and I just was looking over them and just like, wow, like you did that, sis. Like you did that with no blueprint. And when I say blueprint, it's like no mother figure.
Right.
And that's kind of hard when you don't have a dad or a mom and you're going into parenthood.
Absolutely.
And you're trying to be this parent or this person for these little ones that they're your responsibility. And you're like, what am I doing?
Right.
So the fact that she was able to use these surviving skills to be a better mother.
Right.
Forget person. Mother is who she needed to be for those 5, So, and she has a kid or a kid that she takes care of. So she has 6 that she's taking care of. And it's like, she does it with no sweat.
Right.
So to know like our situation and what we came from, like she couldn't have made me no more prouder of who she is.
Shout out to Drew, man. I am proud of you as well for being the mother that you are, and seeing where y'all came from to where y'all are now. And to you, just keep doing your thing. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely.
Keep going.
When you gonna have kids?
As soon as possible. It's on the list. It's on the bucket list.
It's on the list.
It's on the list.
You in a relationship?
I am in a happy relationship. Shout out to my man.
Shout out to the man.
To my man. Yes.
Hey, whenever you listen, whenever you hear this, whenever y'all sit down and y'all lay down, maybe whenever you go over it with yourself sometimes, man. First of all, I want you to put a ring on it.
Oh,
And then I want you to put a baby in.
Oh. He's working on it, I promise you. Like
I'm sure he is.
Y'all, my man, Cedric, by the way.
Shout out to Cedric.
Shout out to Cedric. He's older. He's like 13 years older than me. And
13 years older than you? 13 years older than my wife.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, see, that's where it's at. That's where the grown men is where it's at. Okay, ladies out there, the grown men are where it's at. No, but he's older and he comes from his own background. He has his own story, his own life, and nobody's perfect. No relationship is perfect.
Absolutely.
Everybody has flaws, but it's about the person that you choose to go through those things with.
That's right.
And I choose him, he chooses me, and we are, we're going through life together. And I've never had a person that was my person, that supports me, that uplifts me, that sees me as, this man thinks I'm the most beautiful creature that God made.
Come on, man.
And
as he should.
Right. And I just never had that, so the fact that I'm 32 years old, I've been in a relationship since I was 13, never been single, like unfortunately, I love love. I love relationships.
Come on.
And it may be scary to some people to be alone, and things like that. But yeah, I love my person. So yeah, shout out to Cedric.
So my man, here again, put a ring on this woman. You know who she was, you know who she is, and you know where she's going. So do what real men do. You understand me?
What the comments saying? I gotta see what the comments saying.
Yeah, go ahead. Y'all got the flow. What you got?
Yeah, what would y'all like to say?
Yeah, come on.
Ring and baby, it's on the way.
Ring and baby. Absolutely.
Woo. I don't know about that.
So a while back, I remember this post. You made a testimonial post on Facebook, and you said something along the lines of prostitution.
Yes, sir.
Was it peer pressure? Was it influential? Was it manipulation? Or just something you had to do to survive at that time?
Um, I would say I was the stripper.
Mm-hmm.
And at this time that I was stripping, dancing, I did have a pimp. And a lot of people don't know this about Texas, but that's our culture.
Absolutely.
A lot of people in Florida, they sell drugs, they boost, things like that. That's their culture. Our culture is drink, pimping,
Fast money.
fast money. That's how
Fast
we live.
living.
Yeah. Fast living. That's how
Absolutely.
we live. So I'm not gonna say that was something that I was gonna do regardless of how my outcome would have been. But I feel like for me, the fast life, the fashion, the music, the drugs, the men, the attention, at that time, that's what I craved. That's what my spirit craved. So I wouldn't say it was peer pressure. It was something I wanted to do. And then it became survival. It became something that I'm good at it. I see what it's doing for me. I'm making a living out of it. It took me from this to this to this. So why stop? So
right.
That's when I became that.
Right. And I hear you say attention, mm-hmm. and attention is a drug.
Woo. It's a bad addiction.
What kind of attention were you receiving at that time?
It was being put on like a different type of like pedestal of like maybe being seen as like the sex symbol, maybe, I guess. I really can't really put my hands on it. I just know when the lights came on, the music was on, I was in the light, it gave me a drilling rush. It gave me this feeling like, oh my gosh, I absolutely love this. I found what I'm supposed to be doing in life.
Right.
That's how dark, I can't say dark because shout out to the ballerinas, the midnight ballerinas, y'all do you, that's not. But at that time, I craved that negative attention in a way because I was operating in this lower spirit, I feel like.
Right.
And I absolutely loved it.
Right. Gotcha. So you say that you're in a relationship, mm-hmm. And your man is building a future. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure y'all talked about these situations.
For sure.
How hard was it, or if it was hard at all, mm-hmm. how hard was it talking about your childhood and your young adulthood and the things that you were going through?
It was hard only because you get tired of opening up to people and they kind of use that against you, right?
Right, absolutely.
They'll use all your flaws and I think you went there. They'll use all your flaws and everything that you went through against you. So right. I decided to, I don't want to tell him anything. I don't want to express this to him. So
Right.
it got to like, Tasha, how do you express this to him? You know, and it gave me anxiety for a little bit because he was like, girl, what's wrong with you? Like, we would argue about some things and I would just shut down. I would just shut down and be like, no, you
Right.
know? And he'll just be like, well, like, you know, what's wrong? In his mind, he's older, so he knows how to deal with emotions and all of that. But my emotions was just out of there for him.
Right.
It was just too much. So I had to explain that, my way of thinking and living, to him because of that. Because I wanted him to understand, like, I may have did this, or I may have acted like this, or I may come off like this, and this is why.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So
Yeah, and it's
the box.
dealing with a woman 13 years younger than I am.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can relate to, you know, his point of view, because he's up in age and he's past that. You know what I'm saying? So he's ready to settle down and move on. And maybe he's just like you at the time. You know, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to hear it. You know, things like that.
Right.
So I can understand at that time, but I'm glad that he was able to listen to you and actually hear you out. You know, to be able to explain,
for sure,
you know, your childhood and accept who you are, not who you were.
Right.
And a lot of people don't do that.
Come on now. And I think that explained a lot, or I guess that kind of built a part of our relationship, because during the time of me like not explaining, I felt like our relationship was going downhill because I wasn't being real about who I was.
Yeah.
And
you basically caged
right,
out. Yeah.
Right. So once we got over that hump of like emotional roller coaster and this is why type situation, 0852, it became so much easier. Like our relationship alone was like, okay, like let me not flip. I think he understood me better. He accepted me.
Absolutely.
You know, so
absolutely.
For sure.
It's all a part of growth.
For sure.
You know, so whenever you reach that level, you know, especially in the relationship, and there's gonna be sometimes that conversations get uncomfortable in a relationship. But in order to grow, in order to get to that next level of, you know, marriage and things like that, you have to, you know, be uncomfortable with some conversations.
Right.
So you wrote a book. You wrote a book. And the book is out now.
The book is out now, Amazon.
Shout out to you for taking the time. I know it's been a long time coming. You know, and procrastination kills the cat. But you did get it done.
For sure.
You know, and in that book, you said the thought of being numb meant you was handling things well. Feelings slowed you down because feelings made things harder. So you learn how to push them aside and keep moving.
Sure.
And it worked until it didn't.
Yeah.
What was something that you were numb to, but you just couldn't shake?
I would say losing my grandma. When I say numb, I was numb to being hurt. I was numb to pain. I was numb to being let down, disappointment. But for some reason, when my grandma passed away, that was hard. Harder than getting taken away from my mom. You know, us being in foster care, like losing someone so like important to our family, you know, that was one of the hardest things that I could possibly shake. And I dealt with it so internally, to where no one really knew. That's when I started to be a stripper. That's when I started to get into drugs. That's when I started to step away from my family. Like, I didn't want connections with a lot of my aunts and uncles, and I just was like, I'm done, with a lot of things. So that was hard. That was like, I would say, the start of me feeling like, okay, I got to do something.
Yeah.
But that started everything else.
Yeah, the domino effect.
Correct.
Right. So with y'all being in foster care, did you realize at the time what was going on? And you like, oh, I'm being taken away from my mom, being taken away from my family. How did that affect you in a way towards your mom? Did you feel like that she didn't do enough, or
right.
did you already understand that she couldn't do
enough? So a little bit of both, right? So I'll never forget the story. Me and my siblings, we was living in Fort Myers, living in Florida at the time, in Harlem Heights. Shout out to the H.
Shout out to Harlem Heights, man.
So we was living there at the time, and I'll never forget my auntie Tick. She came to pick us up from school, right? And we never get picked up from school. We walk. We lived in a neighborhood. We go to Heights Elementary. The neighborhood, our house was right there. No reason to get picked up. So we're like, why are we getting picked up? We don't want to get picked up. Like, our walk home was when we turned up,
Right,
so
absolutely.
We upset. So we getting in the van and we go, and me, my sister, and brother at the time, that's all she gets in the car. But she got all her nieces and nephews that she could have picked up. So I'm like, so me, being who I am, I'm watching everything. I'm watching the movement. I'm seeing how she's talking to us, what the things that she's saying. She's been she was already a nice woman, but she's been so caring, and the things she's saying, she's careful with it, right? So the house is 6-7 minutes away. We get to the house, I see my mom standing in the door, I see some officers there, I see a van, and a white woman. There ain't got no white people in our neighborhood.
Come on, man.
So I see this white woman, I say, it clicked. I'm older than my siblings. I don't know if they knew what was going on, but I knew at that moment that we're getting taken away, right? Immediately, I want to say Drew took off. They had to chase Drew.
You took off?
Drew ran down the road.
Yeah.
At the time, I want to say Drew was maybe 6. I was 7. She was gone. They had to go find her and bring her back. And the lady, Child Protective Services, was like talking to us, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I don't care. I just don't want to be taken away from my mom. At that moment, she knew that I knew what was going on, because that's the first thing I said to her. Like, I don't want to be taken away from my mom, So, boom, they took us away. Me and my sister, we went together to a family member of who we were living, my mom's boyfriend at the time. We went with her. And then my brother, the lady who gave us the ride, Auntie Tick, he went and stayed with her. And so, again, we separated, right?
Right.
First time ever been separated. And here goes the numbness.
Right.
Of not really having that emotion. It wasn't a sad emotion. It was, I don't even remember what it was, but I wasn't sad. I didn't cry. I was more of hurt. And I had pain.
Right.
Of like, Mom, we're in this state, we're far away, we have no family, and then this happens, So it was hard. And me trying to be a big sister to protect my little sister who don't want to be a little sister.
Yeah.
Who wants to be the big sister.
Yeah.
So, and she struggled a lot at that time with being told what to do by people she didn't know. She didn't have no authority. Like, you're not my mom. Like, that's how she felt. Like, fuck you.
Right.
You're not my mama. I don't care how you feel, So I have to carry her pain with me as well. And I carry my mom's pain with me as well, because I know the things that happened to my mom, to why she is the way that she is.
Right.
And I found these things out 7, 8 years old. So here I am carrying her pain with me, carrying my sister pain with me, carrying my brother pain, carrying everyone pain, and it was like, it is what it is, and that's when I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so numb to this. Like, it's natural, like, to just feel all of these things, and I didn't want to give up on my mom, but I was frustrated with her.
Right.
Here we are in this whole nother state, and we just like, we're losing ourselves every day, living with different families. We're going, at this time, we were probably in like 10 or 15 different foster homes.
Damn.
And we were going to get, total 28. Total 28.
28
foster homes total. And someone wanted to adopt me and not adopt my siblings. And they gave my family member here in Florida, Texas, a chance to get us. No one could get us but my cousin David White. Shout out to you.
Shout out to David White, man.
My cousin was 23 or 24 at the time. He was young, started his own family, just had his little daughter, and just got his home. His wife is in college. He said, I'll get him. And that's how we got back to Texas.
That's how y'all got back to Texas. Man, come on, man. Shout out to David White.
Shout out to David.
Shout out to David White, man. I want to take this time out, man, to really pinpoint David White and what he has done. I've known David White for a long time. And he's never changed.
Mm-mm.
That's one person that has never changed. Mm-mm. He's always had that same kind of heart.
That's right. That's right.
And it was at a time where I didn't have a job. I couldn't get a job. And he was,
I remember he was working.
Come on, man. You know what I'm saying?
That. So I remember it.
And at that time, I was in a dark place at that time. And little did he know, he helped pull me out that dark hole. You know what I'm saying?
Let's talk about it.
So shout out to David White.
Shout out to David White. And my cousin has been, a father figure. He's been an uncle. He's been a big cousin. He's been everything that we could possibly imagine. So shout out to him and his wife Elena for opening their doors to us at a young age. They were young, starting their life out. So shout out to y'all, man. Y'all put y'all life on the line for me and my siblings.
Absolutely.
Even though y'all said, you know what, Reva, come get your kid. But you said, you know what? He said, hey, Reva, y'all gotta come get your kid. And that's what happened. And at that time, he forced her to be a mother because he was like, look, I think he ended up getting custody of his brother kid. So it's 6 of us living in one room.
Come on,
David hugged David to doing it until he couldn't do it no more. So, man, just shout out to him.
Yeah, real. It's only so much that a person can take, man.
It's only so much. And then at that point, my mom, she wasn't ready, but she knew she had to get ready because where else is we going to go?
Absolutely. So you saying when y'all were in foster care, there was nobody except for David White that would accept y'all in.
That was my blood family. That's correct.
If it wasn't for him, you probably wouldn't be sitting here today.
That's correct. I say I got out of Florida at the right time. I love Florida. I love Florida down. I love Fort Myers. But Fort Myers was a different Fort Myers in the early 2000s.
Right.
Anybody that's watching this that's from Fort Myers, y'all know Fort Myers was different then, right? So it was very fast. There was a lot going on, and with no one that cares about you, with no one who cares about you like me, I didn't have anyone who cared about me, who cared about us,
Right.
That place will suck you up and eat you dry, right? So I believe that at the age that I got out of there, which was 13, was a perfect age because no telling what life would have took me at that time. So I always salute my cousin. I always tell him, thank you, because little do you know, you saved us.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, man. He absolutely did. So being in Fort Myers and that place will suck you dry. We all know that Brazoria County, it will also suck you dry.
That's right.
How can you balance, or how were you balancing being away from being sucked dry in Fort Myers and in Florida? Because you live in Fort Myers right
now. Right. So it's different. It's way different now. Times has changed versus like the hood that I grew up in is just different. It's no longer considered a hood, I guess.
Gotcha.
The people, nobody literally owns their home anymore. Like everyone's moved out of that place. It's like maybe 2 or 3 people that kind of still live there. Like it's just different, right? So the economy of Fort Myers has changed a lot. There is still some places that needs,
right,
some upbringing, but as of the whole like city of its own, it's different, right? So with that change, a lot of things change financially. The opportunities there are a lot better. The money is good there. The cost of living is a lot there. So you get paid more money than, Brazoria County. Also, there's more opportunity. You don't get boxed in to certain things,
Absolutely.
So just me finding those positives in those things, it allowed me to kind of express or explore Fort Myers differently than where I'm from, which is Brazoria County.
Right.
And I say that because Brazoria County is growing a lot. There's a lot of, and I say this, so much money here. The money is good, but the plant is really all we have, know? And it's like, if you don't go to the plant, what else do you do? And me, I've never had that aspiration. I never wanted to put on those steel-toe boots. I'm too cute. I don't want to wear that.
Come on.
That's not my thing. So it was like, I've always sat here and thought like, see if that box is on. I always sat here and thought like, Tasha, what you gonna do?
Right.
Like, you got to do something different, because you don't want to go to the plant, and that's really where all the money is, So it had my mind spinning when other people was thinking about what they about to do for their graduation and this and that. I was thinking about like, what am I going to do for my life? Because this is it.
Right, absolutely.
I don't have no way out,
absolutely.
So
it was a post that you posted, and all I did was I twisted your words around, basically saying the same thing. And
0836.
It was some people on there that were agreeing to what they were agreeing to what I said.
0832.
They were agreeing to what I said, but disagreeing to what you said. So a lot of times it be the messenger, not the message.
Facts.
And I'm pretty sure that's everywhere. But like you said, it's more of an opportunity.
Right.
Being away from here.
0852. I said a line.
So it's the opportunities are different, in Brazoria County.
Correct.
And in Fort Myers.
Correct. Yes, sir.
And that's the reason why you went back to Fort Myers.
Yes, that's correct.
Absolutely.
So I was living in Houston. I left Freeport when my grandma passed away. So that was like 2018, 19. I left Freeport. I went to Houston. I lived in Houston for 7-8 years. And then my niece, my sister's 1-year-old, she caught cancer, or she got stage 4 cancer.
Right.
And she was living in Freeport at the time, or Lake Jackson at the time. So I quit my job that I have been working at for 6 years. I moved here and I did whatever I had to do for my sister, my nieces and nephews, because at that time she was having to travel between Galveston and Houston
Right.
to, you know, for the treatment for my niece and things
Right.
like that. So I did what I had to do and I moved here and I got my own place and we thugged it out together. And
Absolutely.
my niece is now cancer free. Amen. That
Absolutely.
was, how old
Amen,
is
man.
she now?
Thank God for that.
7 years old
7
now.
years old,
And she
cancer
got
free.
cancer when she was 1, going on 2, right? And you see her now, she's a beautiful testimony. So from here, going here, I said, you know what? After my niece got cleared and everything, I said, you know what? It's time for me to do something for me.
Right.
You know, not that I was just living for my sister and them and they wanted me to, but I chose to. That was my position in life.
Right.
Was to be there for them and do whatever I had to do for them. At this time, my brother was in prison. My sister was here with her children. She only had 3 at the time. My mom was married. She had her husband. And I felt like, you know what, it's time for me now, you know.
Right.
So I contacted one of my foster parents in Florida. My best friend, Natalie, she already lived in Florida. And I said, you know what, I'm ready. And Natalie was like, are you sure? Like you always say. And I'm like, you know what, I'm going to come for vacation, actually. I'm going to come for a week or 2, and I'm going to see
Absolutely.
if I'm ready.
Absolutely.
And she said, okay. So me, her brother, her sister, we went to Miami. We had this nice trip. Of course, it's vacation, you know, so you loving it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I had not been there in 13 years. So I said, you know what? Take me to Fort Myers. I want to go see my friends and my old foster family. And she took me to Fort Myers. She dropped me off there. And that's where I've been.
Absolutely.
That's where I've been.
Absolutely. So, with all that being said, and you made a change of scenery, and in your book, once again, it says changing your mindset is powerful. But mindset alone doesn't undo habits built in survival. Survival lives in the body, in routines, in reactions. So once my thinking began to shift, I realized I had to start showing up differently in my everyday life.
Right.
How are you showing up differently from then until now?
Just being a better me. I feel like anything I ever done, I always try to be good at it. But now it's not about being good. It's about being a better me, however that may seem to me. If that's waking up a little earlier, if that's being a little nicer, if that's not being so judgmental towards other people's lifestyle.
Absolutely.
If that's changing my mindset on negative to positive, on, oh my gosh, this is going to go so bad today. It's going to go good today.
Absolutely.
You're going to succeed. You're going to, you know, so just changing how I review life and how I thought things.
Absolutely.
Because what people don't understand is it really is in the mind.
Come on, man.
It really is. Immediately, as you start to think different, you start to see different. You start to feel different. You start to believe different. So for me, these things were trial and error in my life. And I felt like, okay, I'm in this dark place because I'm keeping myself here with my thoughts.
Absolutely.
Change the way you're thinking, Tasha. Okay, it may not go good today, but it can go good later on if you realize that, if you see that in your future.
Absolutely. That's a word.
And that's what I did.
That's a word. When you change your mindset, you change your direction.
Correct.
Becoming the living self is not about perfection. It's about choice. Choosing to respond instead of react. Choosing peace without guilt. Choosing growth even when it feels unfamiliar. Choosing yourself again and again. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are becoming. And every time you choose awareness over fear, presence over protection, and truth over old patterns, you step further in life, and you step further into the life you were always meant to live. Survival was a chapter. Living is the story.
Mm.
And that's coming from
Me.
your book.
That's right.
That was something that I read, and that was something that I wanted to pinpoint and put out there.
That's
because
right.
that is the truth.
Yes,
That's the absolute truth.
Yes, it is.
And I want to tell you that I'm glad you survived.
Thank you.
I'm so glad you chose growth, peace, and awareness. But overall, I want to say that I'm glad that you chose you over and over again. And continue to choose peace. Continue to choose yourself, because you matter. This was an honor to have you on here, to share your story, to be a part of your journey. I don't know if you know this or not, but this is also a part of my story and a part of my journey. So I appreciate you more than you know.
I appreciate you.
My dog.
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you more.
So is there anything else that you would like to say before we close out?
For one, I just want to thank everyone for just over the years being there for me and my siblings. Like I said in the beginning, this took a village, right? I won't sit here and act like my life was just a living hell, because it wasn't. We had some good times. We had some beautiful times. We shared some beautiful moments with some beautiful people. I'm more grateful for the ones who was there. I don't care about the ones who wasn't. You just got to miss out on some wonderful children. I gotta stop saying I'm sorry, but so yeah, thank everyone. You know, the older people, the young ones, the ones who don't support us, the ones who got anything to say. I really appreciate y'all along this journey.
Absolutely.
And you know, remember to choose you. I chose me, and I chose me for my siblings and my nieces and nephews, because I want them to see that so much more in life.
That's right.
And I want them to know that they're deserving. And I want y'all to know that y'all are deserving. Don't ever feel like you're not. If it's anything in this world that you want, you can get it.
You can get it.
You can get it. It starts with the mind. I want you to also know that surviving self is really a thing. You are your own worst enemy. I don't care who tried to tell you it's a devil, it's this person, is that person, is you. And once you get out your own self way, watch how powerful you become when you are able to gather your power back.
That's right.
This is for men and women. This is for little kids. This is for teenagers. This is for anybody who is ready to become their best self.
That's a word.
And that's all I got for y'all.
That's a word. And the book is out now.
Out now. $3.99 on Amazon. All you gotta do is type in LaTasha Jones, or you can type in Surviving Self. It'll send you a link, or it'll send you the book. You can download it to your phone. You can read it. I do got paperbacks that are coming in soon. I'm working on that right now. But for now, enjoy the book on your phone. And again, thank y'all so much.
And there you have it, man. Talking to Texas, man. Long live D, man. Long live D.
She was my big sister. She was my big sister.
Motherfucker, that's where I play.